I shaved my head with a razor for the first time. I nicked myself a couple times, but I thought I was going to look drastically different, and I don't. I hope these heifers give us something this week. Sucked and sucked until the dew dropped, and we're only 41 seconds in the episode. Yeah, Housewives is different now. It's just different. It's somewhere between where it was and where Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is. But this ain't. They ain't. I want to go back to the days of Nene's old noses. Okay, I get we're recapping the episode, but this song, it's not hitting. It's not a hit. Wow, Britt is even more nasal first thing in the morning. But she's going to keep her guard up with Angela. And we're going to keep our guard up with you. But Angela and Cynthia, let me get some chapstick. About to be on here looking like Duchess. But she's telling Cynthia, I'm loyal to Drew and that ain't going to change. But Drew is on the way. But here comes Drew in an odd wig. It just looks real full back here, real full. And of course, Drew in the bunk bedroom. She said the room's giving orphanage. So everybody then got ready. Porsha and Drew hug. Portia's like, I already told you how I feel. I'm going to keep it cute. Good. And we head into the whiskey tasting together. Okay, now this is weird. We're having a domestic violence awareness moment, but all the footage is from Kenya's event. So we got Porsha, Shamia, and Kelly doing the Coyote Ugly dance, and the other girls are doing the whiskey tasting. So at the whiskey tasting, Drew says she's going to bring Porsha a bottle as an olive branch. Over with Porsha, she lets the girls know that the friends that they went to dinner with all knew Drew and they were surprised she wasn't there. So Porsha thinks Angela was stirring the turd at the dinner table with Drew last night, saying she's defending her but kind of setting up bad energy for when she get there. But Angela feels like Drew was talking trash to Kelly about her. Well, no, she got that wrong. It was when we rolled tape, Kelly was throwing shade to Drew, not Drew throwing shade to Kelly. However, she wanted to know Drew's reaction. Was it loyalty or laughter? But over at the whiskey tasting, Angela thinks Portia's hurt because she invited her. However, Britt starts talking and she said, well, at the brunch, nobody had any empathy for what I was going through because they was going to side with production and not you. So that's accurate. Angela does apologize for not being there for her, but she's like, look, how I come in, I was coming in crazy because Kenya drove me crazy. And I can get that. Lord, Drew's still gonna say we were missing our friend. It doesn't minimize your feelings. Y'all gonna cape for Kenya. But now we heading home from the tasting and the dancing, and it's 2 hours till dinner. Girl, so Porsha come down, everybody laughing, chatting, looking brown cow stunning. Porsha come in a black dress, and the energy is just off. It ain't giving birthday. So Porsha mad that Dennis was filming with Drew. And that broke their agreement. Oh, now we're going to have some cowboy dancers? Oh, we're line dancing. This is cute. That was a crooked line dance. So Britt says, me and Angie were able to get on the good foot at the table. And Angie says, yeah, apparently people think I'm, Victimina, what'd you call me? Oh, no, they said you gaslight. And she's like, well, which is it and tell me how? So now we going in on, well, you brought Drew, and she said, well, I wasn't explicitly told not to, but if I offended you, I'm sorry. However, Angela says, why am I the only one held accountable? Why don't we hold Porsha accountable for her husband stealing habit? The world wants to know. I don't think the world got that answer. And Porsha tell her, well, you can kiss my ass, or I might kiss your husband. So Drew asks Porsha, are you cool with me being here? And she's like, we straight. And Drew's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave this whiskey bottle and leave the trip. Not a storm off. Drew's like, if anybody got an issue, address it with me now. Okay, we going to keep it nice, nasty, then I'm going to go. Drew might be smart, though, because the Porsha we straight, something going to happen after that. She ain't going to calm down. She going to get your ass. So I see why she was like, I ain't about to box. So Porsha goes upstairs and Cynthia check on her and she's like, it's just a lot and Dennis is supposed to be loyal to me. But at least you got something to talk about since you can't talk about that husband, that 15-minute husband. So they go and get a shot after they've kikied. And then everybody has fun with an adult night swim. Angela, however, is going to bed. So Angela was looking out the window, recording them at the pool. Girl, you can't record with your flash on through a window. They're going to see you. You got to discreetly put the phone in the windowsill, in the sill. This is some Carly Red marriage shit. So she was up on the phone with Charles, overheard them talking about her and said, I'm going to get this on tape. Beautiful bean footage. So Angela then went down, confronted Porsha, and she ran. Oh, Shamia said Charles is out with different women. Porsha got caught saying she was going to sleep with Charles, and you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Portia's stealing husbands tonight. Kelly's trying to be nice to Angela. She's like, good morning, but I'm trying to be fake. She feels like all the girls are puppets for Porsha. Well, Shamia and Brett. And that was the shit, so I'm going to see you soon for the Gilded Age. Check out the after show. So Shamia said, I wouldn't have brought a +1, me either, especially with someone as funky as Porsha. Angela, I don't know where you thought this good space and Porsha was receptive is coming from, because I don't see it. Porsha, why do you have on this snake gate corset? Drew felt very unwelcome on the trip and that Porsha was that mad, but I mean, you playing with the baby daddy. I don't think you want her running around with Ralph. So Porsha, however, said Angela was like, aren't you upset with Drew bringing up the beef, trying to stir the turd? See, why you want to get people to lay issues on the table? The table's for eating. So Drew didn't feel set up because she says, I know Angela was trying to do the right thing. I think she was also trying to do a messy thing. So that bunk bedroom, the orphanage, as she called it, made her feel unwelcome from jump. Angela said Porsha needs to put her 3 brain cells together to figure out her intentions weren't bad. However, Porsha thinks Angela used the husband question to get everybody off her back. No, we want to know, Porsha. We want to know. But at the dinner, everybody could tell something was off. So the girls didn't know that this was about Drew and Dennis. They just knew her energy was off. Britt thinks Drew's a runner for leaving at the dinner. And I don't know. I think it was smart to get away from that angry Porsha because she knew she'd press the baby daddy button. Now, Drew said, look, I'm just trying to make some coin off my music. I don't know why it's such an issue for us to film. Because Portia's afraid of karma. It just dawned on me. Porsha is afraid of karma with Drew and Dennis and having to deal with that heifer. Oh, God, now Portia's mental health has to be a certain level to do this. I don't know. You seem pretty unstable, Mabel, to me. Cynthia tells Drew, yeah, I wouldn't film with your husband. I wouldn't help Ralph be a model, even though he could be. Drew, however, says Porsha wants to spin the block. I can kind of see it. So then we talk about fashion, best and worst, and it seems to be Kelly versus Shamina. I think Drew has some faux pas looks too, but that was the after show, so I'm going to see you soon for Gilded Age.